Excellent. Doc here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And it is New Year's. New Year. New Year's? Not New Year's Day. New Year's. A new year. That's it. There we go. I know I could get that word out. Let's see what's going on here this morning. As you can see, the Swiss franc is moving back, down again, which means it's becoming more valuable. You can see it's still in that weekly sell. It's in a daily sell for a bunch of days there. Let's see. Can we see that there? Yeah, it looks good on the. So we move this over a little bit. Let's grab a hold of that mouse and let's do that. Let's see, which one's this? This is that one there. So that goes there. Let's go like this. And let's see if we can move this just a little bit better. I guess we can move this over even a little bit more like that, right? Let's see if it does it. Moving the fact check spreadsheet over just a little bit more like that. There we go. And we can move this over a little bit more like so. There we are. How's that? That looks pretty good like that. And then we can see the Chicago Quant right there. All right, so we get a feel for it all. You can see it's been moving down on the J4X. Oh, good morning, Robin. How you doing? Another fun-filled week. Here we go. We got 5 full days. We haven't had a 5 full day week in 2 full weeks. So it's finally back into the saddle again. And then here in the States, we'll have 2 full 5-day weeks, and then we go back into a 4-day week again on the 15th. All right. So let's see, which mouse was that? That mouse is right there, so we're going to leave that mouse right there. So we'll just go like that again. There we are. Do we have that mouse right? That's the wrong one. There's the right one. All right, so we're just watching the dollar drift down again. Here it is. It's the new year, and it's drifting down. And it's been drifting down, and I guess until all this political stuff ends and we finally get a grip on what the reality is, then we will have to go through watching this situation. Let's see, what do we do here? There we are. And so that's what we're seeing at the moment. Just kind of a starting. It was funny. Oh, I want to go to Bitcoin really quick. I thought that was amazing. I saw something on the Bitcoin. Where's it at? Not there. Are we there yet? There it is. Look at Bitcoin. They had the Bitcoin up to $34,770 last night, and now look at it. That thing dropped $5,000. So the high was 34,000 basically, and the low is 28,000. That's 6,000. It's $5,270. $5,270 drop from the high to the low. Whoa! No doubt, a whole new classification of an asset. That's for sure. It's interesting. I guess maybe look at that. It's fighting its way into a daily sell. You can see the weekly had been, earlier when I was looking at it, it was actually piercing that. Right there, you can see right there on plot. Let me just double check that. Yeah, plot 1. Okay, let's close that. Plot 1 is just plus now. It was minus earlier. Let me just give it a refresh again. Yep, it is plus again. So this is going to be a real wild dance. The Bitcoin is going to have a lot of people going in all kinds of directions. I mean, they're going to be all excited. They're going to be all upset, so forth and so on. But that's interesting to see that. And, I don't see anything changing in the sense of the action we see in this product. There's a lot of money trying to figure a place to go. It's the first of the year. Time to do the dollar cost averaging. Step up, buy a little. That's what happened, I guess, last night or over the weekend. Buy a little, and then buy a little bit more, and we'll see where they are. All right. So now, let's go like that. Move that over there. There you go. And that is the action we're seeing in this product. I just thought it fascinating. And we can go back to the currencies now. Remember, this is like a currency and gold and silver and everything combined together. That's what the Bitcoin is philosophized about or theorized about or fantasized about whatever way you want to interpret it, but that's where it stands. People are trying to figure out exactly what are these cryptocurrencies and how do they work. And this one in particular, and I mean all of them really, are considered a combination of all of it. They're a currency, they're a metal, they're an asset. It is fascinating. Just totally fascinating. All right, now let's go back to the currencies unless somebody wants to see something. And let's drive ourselves over to the euro, see what the euro is doing. I'm assuming it's up. Yep, there it is right there. And let's see it over in J4X. Right there. And we're running along the, a 2-year high or 2.5-year high, that type of thing. That's what's going on there. As I take a raspberry and stick it in my mouth to eat. Remember, it's breakfast time here. Sometimes I get a little hungry. And so that's exactly what's going on here, is the strength is still coming into there. Now, I can't wait to take a look at cable. I have not looked at the cable since last year, honestly. Let's see what cable looks like. Woo, they did get up to that 37s we were talking about. Interesting. And let's take a look at it over on Chicago Quant. We're thinking that we're going to see the 38 area. Let's see, right there. Vindo. There we are. And the high is 37.04, basically. Nice. And you can see right there, we're trading at 136.57. They've pulled it back from there. We're in a weekly buy for a long while now. What, 12 weeks? We go over to the spreadsheet. You can see that on line 13 there. We are looking at 12 weeks in a weekly buy. Fascinating. Really holding up in there, isn't it? And I guess they signed a deal. I saw something like New Year's Eve or something like that, where it was they signed a deal or they did something with the European Union. At least they didn't sell this down, so I guess there's more potential here to happen. You can see there, that black line there is like 2.5-year high. So they're making some highs there, just like they are in the euros, just like they are in the the Swiss. A lot of the pairs trades. KO, how are you doing? Happy New Year to you too, and Merry Christmas. Ho ho ho. Interesting to see this still. What did you think about that Bitcoin? Did you see that? Were you tuned in to see the Bitcoin? Went up to 34,000 and change. Fell down to 28,000 and change. What a rock and roll, huh? Boy, is that a thin market or what? But notice it has one characteristic that's very clear, and that is it has a natural trajectory to go up in value. It's the way those cryptos do. They keep on finding ways to go higher and higher and higher. So falling back down, $6,000 or $5,000 doesn't mean a lot in that product. I mean, obviously, if you're long it does, but if you're looking at the long term, not much. All right. From there, we'll go zip over to, unless anybody wants to see anything particular, we'll go over to the Turkish Lira. Let's see what they're doing with the first of the year there, huh? Still working its way down. You can see we've been daily sell here. 3 weeks now, fully in a weekly sell, going for a fourth after 52 weeks in a buy. Wow. What a funny product, huh? And I guess it's more than just taxes at this point. They were taking profits. We were assuming it was taking profits from this good news that they had here. But it's still driving. And it's the A, B, C, and I guess we may see, some type of lift up in here. Maybe it'll drive it up to the 775 area. It was at 780 area, 775. Maybe that's what they'll do. Or will this become the resistance right there on the upside? That could be a possibility also. But the Turkish Lira has been a fascinating an example of our math. and away from the fundamentals. It's been a really good example for the last couple years, especially using that Gann triangle thing we had, that kind of exemplified the action in it. We may go back and look at that one day. The wild triangle that evolved and so forth. It was fascinating to watch that all happen, play out. All right, where do we go? We go to Canadian from here because usually we follow. Now we start to drift into the oil market. So we look at that, and you can see this is moving down. So that means that oil is normally firm or up from that. And at the same time, you can see on, let's see, where is that? That is line 20. Excuse me. Woo, 2 sneezes. Let's see, let's go to line 20. And that is right there. Where's the mouse at? And let me just move this over a little bit. There it is. There we are. And there's line 20. It's been 7 weeks now in a sell, as you can see right there. Let's highlight that. Like that. So it's 7 weeks in a sell. And it has been drifting down, since this point up in here. And that would mean that, crude oil more than likely is firm or up. That's what it always usually represents. And then what we do is we drift from there over to the NAS-CAD, the other currency pairs that kind of emphasizes the action in oil. Right there. Now that's interesting. Moving down a little bit. Bounced off the weekly. That's kind of cool. Let's see, where is NAS-CAD on the spreadsheet? Let's go over to the fact check spreadsheet. Right there. 9 weeks in a buy. 10 days in a buy. And today they are flirting with the sell. Interesting. Let's give it a refresh too. Let's give it a good little refresh. Not there. Right there. Yep. Moving down a little. What's interesting is how it bounced off of the zero line and lifted up. We'll see how long this lasts. Oh, what's KO have to say? Let's see. Live channel. What do you say for a pair? Oh, we can go over and look at the South African Rand. Channel be healthy. Let's see what the channel looks like. This is in the Rand you're talking about, that the channel. Let's see. I know we keep it at times in here. So let's take a look at that. There's dollar. There it is right there. We probably haven't looked at this in a while, have we? I guess we didn't fill. Let's see. We went in. What's interesting? Yeah, I guess not. So we went in. We filled it in. Last was December 15th. And it still kept on falling down. It'd been in a weekly sell for a while, so it's been moving down, so it's kind of healthy. You're right. And then let's do this. And it's not much of a channel, really. It's a slope, isn't it? It's just a slope coming down from the 18s. So that's a positive thing too, right? I mean, this goes down against the dollar, means it's gaining value. Let's take a look at it on J4X. I guess on a short term. Oh, I see what channel you're looking at. You're looking at it like a 2-week channel. Okay. Let's go. Let's put the South African Rand in there. Whoop. Missed it again. And right there. Hey, you're talking about this channel here that's been going on for the last 2 weeks of the year. Interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that, Robin. Now, gold was in the daily buy, and then silver had gone into the sell again, and it's in the weekly buy, so it was not a trade. But, yeah, I see that. We'll go to that next. And let's do this, too. Where are we? There's Mr. and Mrs. Mouse. Let's go back to that channel you're looking at right there. That's what you're looking at there. I guess it's end of the year. Obviously, one thing, look how tight that got, too, on the weekly. I'm on the daily. I'm sorry, that's a daily manifold there. Let's see if we can emphasize that a little bit more. Really got tight there, especially the last week. And then you can see the weekly has been in a weekly sell for a while there. guess it went into the weekly sell here back in October, at the beginning of October, end of September. And it's been in a weekly sell ever since from the 117s area and 116 and 3/4 area, something like that. Is it a healthy channel? I wouldn't consider it a healthy channel. I mean, in other words, I guess you can find channels in this thing, but they're wider. Notice how tight this one is. See, our manifold is tight too, so it's probably going to make some type of move. One, or there used to be a saying on the trading floor. I can hear myself already extrapolating on what I was ready to say. That is, if it doesn't go up, it'll go down. That used to be an old joke on the trading floor. Well, if it doesn't go up, it's going to go down. Well, in this case here, the tightness of the channel itself just says that it's getting ready to make a move. So, if you're trading options spreads on this thing, obviously, that could be, it could step outside its range. That's what our math is saying. In other words, it could go back up to 15, or it could probably, make another low. When's the last time let's go to J4X again. When's the last time the RAN, was this low? That's the bigger question. That's 16. That's 16. What we should do is throw a weekly in there. Let me just turn this into a weekly. Let's go back to the beginning again. Are we seeing some real action here in the sense of it's actually making a very positive mood? Okay, there we go. So the beginning of the year, I guess, the end of last year. So it's making a charge back down to it. So whatever drove it up to, economic, political, whatever, drove it up to the 19 area is now bringing it back down to there. Now the question is, let's see, okay, so that was the natural channel for a long while. Let's see. Now let's go put a monthly up there. There's a monthly. So back in 2000, what is that? That's 2018. It was supporting the 12 area after running up to the 17, 18 area. Okay. And then, oh yeah, look at that. It was coming from in 2011. So it doubled. Well, not that bad, I mean, it went from 2011 oh well, I guess no, it tripled. Ouch. That hurts. From 2011 to 2016, it tripled in value. Ouch. Or it lost value, 3 times in amount. So that hurts. So you want to clarify, KO, what exactly do you mean by channel? Is it healthy? Healthy in the sense of it's going to go sideways for a while, or is it getting ready to break out, or what's the question there exactly when you say is it healthy? What do you say for a pair? Yeah, see what I'm saying? I just not sure about the question. I just want to understand what you're looking for. Excuse me. And then let me shoot over to, there's those sneezes again. And then let's jump over to silver. Where's the mouse at on this? Again, I've lost my mouse. There it is. Let's go over to silver real quick while you're figuring out exactly how you want to phrase your question. Now there's silver right there. You can see it made its little dash up, just like, I guess it was following in the footsteps of Bitcoin in a sense, or the cryptocurrencies in general. And I believe gold is doing the same thing. Now, we were in a daily sell for, I guess, what's that, Friday? Yeah, we went into the daily sell on Friday. But we're still in a weekly buy, so you can't be short, just not to be long. So you missed that trade. Now you go over to gold. Now gold does the opposite. We've been on a buy since Wednesday of last week. And off of that one right there with no dot. And we're in a weekly buy. And so it runs from 1893 to 1941. Okay. So there was that did a little bit better. And again, that's got to be following the Bitcoin, I would assume. And Robin, I've been talking about this for weeks to ourselves, if nothing else, and we've mentioned it in webinars. Been thinking that this thing wants to go after the 30 area again. Maybe it'll go to 32 this time. Hard to say. I guess we're going to have a better feel for this. It seems like by the 21st of this month, we'll have a better feel for this whole thing. That's what it really comes down to. We are trapped in this political, I don't know what you could call it at this point, political maze. It's like a maze, where you're going through like a corn maze or a maze on a, you're just not sure where it's going to end and how to get out of it. And sooner or later it's going to end. It has to end. There's a clock ticking. So once that all resolves itself, then I would imagine these metals and the cryptos and everything will start to make a lot more sense. Right now I am, I know that yesterday the Speaker of the House got 216 votes. She said if she got 215, she would not run. She would back out of it. She wouldn't do a second one. But that was a real confusion there. There was 209 to 216, so she won by 7 votes. That was interesting. 5 of her party didn't vote for her, but I'm sure they would have if they needed to. That's for sure. Let's see. What else do we got going on here when it comes to trying to understand the metals complex versus the crypto complex? Mouse maze. Yeah, right. It is a maze, that's for sure. All right, now, where did we leave off from? Oh, we were looking at the Rand. So let's go back over to the currencies. Yeah, so KO, if you can come up with what you're looking for, Kamarvith, if you can figure out what the question is about the channel, we can try to answer that question. But the one thing we can say about it without even hearing anything else from you is that the manifold is really tight, and it looks like it wants to make a, obviously it's going to break out of its channel soon. That's what it looks like it's saying. Let's see, where are we at here? So that was the South African Rand. We just went through the 2. So, I know it is. Now what we'll do is we'll jump over to crude oil. We'll look at the energy complex. And right there we go. And that's the Feb contract. And you can see they ran it up to, what is that? Up to 49.83 last night, or this morning, or wherever. Let's reload that. There we are. And now we are down for the day, I guess. Yeah, that's why it's red. Down for the day. And so that's what's going on there. The product is moving down in value. Let me just save that while I'm right there. There we are. And so that's the action. Whereas in silver, obviously we were just looking at that. Might as well save it too. Silver is holding up firm at the moment. Better than the cryptos, which is interesting. We'll see how that plays out over time. And then since we were at the gold, we might as well save that gold one too. And the gold, again, like the cryptos, is holding up very firm in there. So old school, new school when it comes to flight to safety stuff, Channel got it. Thank you. Okay, good. I wasn't sure. And the time manifold is screaming to us that it wants to make its breakout. If anything else, when you do the video or try to take a snapshot of this, let's go back to it real quick for you. Let me give you a cheaper opinion too. Now you see the white line breaking down, and it's got a red dot going on, and we're in a sell for, let's see. It didn't go into the buy there, so we don't put a line there. It went into the buy here. Okay, here we go. So we went into the buy here on Thursday. Thursday it went into the buy, and now it's flirting with the sell as we speak. So look at that price, and as long as it stays underneath it, figure that it's heading south. How's that? That would be the best way to describe that at the moment. And that is what we have to say about that. There we are. I knew I could wake up and figure out something, right? There we are. And so that's what's really going on here. So it was in a sell from here, went into the buy on the end of the year close. Now it's going back into the sell. The manifold is tight. and look at that price target of what's that, 14.57. As long as it stays underneath there, more than likely it's going to keep on finding a way to fall down. Okay. Let's see, where were we? Oh, okay. So we looked at the metals complex, or no, energy complex. We were looking at the energy complex. While we're there, let's take a look at natural gas. Natural gas caught my eye because of the way it's flirting. You know, it went into the daily buy on Wednesday of last week, and it's had a nice little pop there. And we're not really seeing that amount of cold weather in the country here. So, I mean, I guess we are in some ways, but it's not really screaming at us like it normally. Today's like, I don't know, was it 9 Celsius or something like that? So, I mean, it's not bad, and it's sunshine. So, for a January day, 9 Celsius and sunshine is pretty cool. Or not, no, pretty nice. That's what I put it that way. And then, since we're looking at the energy complex, let's look at gas oil, or unleaded gasoline, as some call it. And there it is there. You can see the strength in that. It's backing off a little. Let's refresh that. And there you go. You can see that, too, at the same time. It is pushing there. Pushing up. Let's see, let's save that. And let's put that in there like so. There we are. And that's the action we're seeing there with the robo, too, at the same time. Kind of holding its own, just like oil, but not going anywhere. Been in a weekly buy for a while there. Holding very well. All right, now we can do this. We can jump over to a currency, or we can take a look at some of the stock indices. Like there's the NASDAQ trading at all-time highs again. They took it down last night and took it back up today, and doesn't seem to be letting go, so that's pretty cool. And you can see, it's battling its way into the daily buy. Let me do that too. We got the red and dot thing going on there. So what we do is we take this line and we put it there, like that, for the opening of the next bar, unless it knocks out that red dot before the close today. And there it is right there. NQ, where are you, NQ? And we can move this out of the way too, so it doesn't have to interfere with this chart. There we go. And let's find NQ and save that. So that's the NASDAQ, that's the super index, I guess you could call it, because it really has all the products, Apple Computer and Amazon and Intel and Microsoft and Google and Facebook and Tesla. This is the granddaddy of all the indexes at this point in time. And then there's the S&P 500 doing the same thing, but and it came in also in a daily sell. And now it's trying to lift up, so we can do that again here too. So they put the stock indices into the sells. They sold them down last night, and now they are... Oh, no, look at that. Okay, so there is no red dot there. So we'll save that one. There we go. And then, let's see. So we've done all these. Oh, here, let's take a look at the Russell. The Russell had been in a sell since like last Monday or something like that, right? So is that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Yep. So since last Monday. And now it's trying to go back up after its all-time high. Let's refresh that. Now, the Russell is like the weakest of all the indices. We looked at the NASDAQ 100, which is the top companies on the planet. And then you look at the Russell, and the Russell is the weakest of all the companies on the planet. And so, it's a interesting guessing game that goes on there. If anybody would like to see anything in particular, just say it, and I will stop looking down these different groups. We can go back to currencies, or we can go back to commodities, or, you name it, we can go after it. I'm just looking for something to chase after and have a conversation about. There's nothing jumping out so far. Let's see if there's anything we've seen that excited us. Now there's the Dow. See, there's the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and now that's flying at all-time highs. Also, so we're seeing money come in, and it's and it was in a daily. No, was that a daily? No, yeah, that was in a daily sell also. So all the stock indices on close of the new year went into daily sells, minus the Russell, who had been weak all week long. Two different words there. So there's the four stock indices we watch. All right. Anybody see anything particular they'd like to look at? You know what? Let's go over and look at some of the grains. Let's open up one of those too. Let's see what they're doing with corn and wheat and all that stuff. They are surrogates for currencies. Anything that trades in such volume. Oh, wow. Who's that? That is... Oh, that's the soybeans. Look at the soybeans. Are they going for the... they're 1,300 and change now. Yeah, so high was almost 1350. 1349.75. So they're really reaching for those products also. Let me just look at currencies real quick. Now, what is that? That is... Oh, that was the ZAR. Okay, yeah. So there's the ruble. There's some flavor to seeing the ruble trying to get back into the sell. Well, it stayed in the sell. I guess it's been in the sell since here, been going nowhere. It's been in a weekly sell since late November, since the 76 area that drove down to the 73s. It's not moving super aggressive, just mildly aggressive, I guess you could say. And so that's what we're seeing there. Let me see. Any other currencies we can go launch ourselves towards? Let me think. Who else is out there? Let's look at, let's see, currency-wise. Let's see. We did Canadian. We started off with Swiss. You know what? Let's look at the... British pound euro pairs trade. See what they're doing with that. See, it fell into the weekly sell last week. We're going to actually put a line in there now. And obviously, it's not doing too good a job on that, is it? Oop. Right there, there we are. Just trying to lift back up again. Now it's also fell into the daily sell there. It's trying to lift up, but it's not getting through any buy, so I don't know how long that'll last in there. It's awful close to its daily anyway. We'll have to see. What a confusion that is, A constant confusion. As we take a sip of water. There we go. All right, now... So now, we see that currency. What other currencies are out there that might have some insight to us or give us a general idea of what's going on? Let's see. That one, we always thought the GBP JPY was going to show us the market, what the election, not the market, the election. And I think we figured that if it was strong, it was going to be plus Trump. If it was weak, it was going to be against Trump. I think that's how we figured that one out. So far, it's trapped in, as KO is saying, it's trapped in a range. Only thing is that range has been trapped for a while, since April. Look at that range. And let's see, what else is there? What other currency pair that could be insightful on some level? Don't really see much. I guess that's about it. Let's see what the peso has done against the dollar throughout this whole mess. Kind of going nowhere, isn't it? Trapped since November this way, since the election. Just going sideways. It had been moving down, and I think we've been in a weekly sell for a while. Let's see if we can contract that. Yeah, so we've been in a sell since October. Euro, A47, how you doing? Euro against the dollar. Let's check that out again right there. You see it's very firm. Holding up in its daily buy now for 4 trading days. still in a weekly buy for like, was it 11? Was it on the spreadsheet? It is 11 weeks we're in a weekly buy in this product. So it doesn't seem to be wanting to let go. There it is, since back in October. Confirmed it on the 23rd. So somewhere in here it stayed, it went into the buy. I like the week afterwards. That was interesting. It goes into a sell, it goes into a buy. Next day goes into a sell on the Monday. Goes down. You can't be long. Goes into the buy, and then it's off to the races. And each buy has been a good buy. And you can't take the sells because, again, we're in a weekly buy. So each one of them has been a winner chicken dinner. Even this one here gave you a nice little win. And still not out of it, really. But it has been a winner chicken dinner. So the euro has been holding up very well out of this whole thing. How's that? Does that sound good enough? Doesn't seem to be changing any. Oh, you know what we could say about this? See, that's why I say to you traders that just because we looked at it, 35 minutes ago, doesn't mean we shouldn't look at it again. When we looked at it before, I don't think I talked about anything that was going on with it. Look at that. You can see that the weekly is touching the top manifold there. And if we had said that, I would have remembered that, and I would have said to 47, why 47? Oh, we're playing with the manifold. I didn't even look at it. So you can see there's some weakness developing in there. Also, the Euro GBP went into the weekly sell last week, and that is probably trying to tip us off that there's a little issue going on too at the same time. Now I guess the only thing left to do is to see if the daily will go into a sell, and the weekly will try to make a challenge to the zero line. But right now, just cruising along. Thank you for asking us to take a look at it, because it gives us a little bit more insight what's going on. And that's the way it always works around here. You just remember, traders, there are no bad questions or dumb questions or irrelevant questions. There are only long or short answers. That's all there ever is. Now, always ask. Doesn't matter if it's the beginning of the webinar or the end of the webinar. If you want to see something that we normally travel on or discuss at the beginning of it, ask again. Because you never know. We may go discover something that is worth looking at. Now, what that says to me is, let's take a look at cable again. Now you can see here the time manifold is not being penetrated. It's tight. It's going sideways, but it's not penetrated. And you can see here on the daily basis, it's been very firm here, the white line above the time manifold. Just like it was here right before a little dipsy doodle. And you can see it's trying to do its little dipsy doodle thing again here now, but it doesn't look like as aggressive as that one was. So, thank you, Y47, for asking. Keep them up. Keep it up. Keep on asking more. You never know what we're going to learn more than what we've looked. We've looked at some. It's kind of like when you walk into a museum and you're in there with a group of other people, and and everybody looks at a painting or a sculpture or something, and they see one thing, and then then somebody else in the same group sees something else. It's the same thing with trading. If you don't, you look at a chart and you try to get a feel for what the technical analysis or the quantitative analysis is trying to tell you. And sometimes you're looking at one thing and somebody else is looking at something else, and just the way it works, And then this black line is like a 2.5-year high. So it tells you that it's actually trying to build a base there now. And that's the cable. See what happens when you ask about the euro and we go back and look at something we looked at 35 minutes ago or 30 minutes back? All of a sudden we're a little bit more inquisitive. We start to discover other characteristics that may and should be discussed when asked about a product. But if no one asks about it, then I just kind of put it up there and let them take a look at the painting. And if something jumps out at me, then I kind of mention something. And if it doesn't jump out at me, I'm hoping that somebody else watching the webinar live will say something about it. Say, hey, what about X, or what about Y, or whatever? Keep on, doing your thing. Keep on asking questions, because I'm always asking questions. I answer them, and I'm also asking them too at the same time. All right, let's see. That's currencies again. We were back in the currency community. Let's see what else we were looking at around here. I'm not sure if anything else is jumping out. Let's see. Guess that's about it, unless someone wants to see something. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was looking. Let me cancel that. I was looking at the grains. That's right. We were looking at soybeans. Look at soybeans. No, that's not soybeans. There it is. There's soybeans. Look at those things. That thing is flying. Let's reload that. How much is that up? So on Thursday, it closed at 1303.75. Let's round it out to 1304. And today the high is 50, basically 49.75 there. So it went up 56 cents. You, woo doggy. Let's save that image. That's a run and gun, isn't it? That's the Jan beanies. Now, since we're seeing the Jan beanies, let's go look at the March beans and see how they look. Same game, eh? They're taking off also. Woo doggy. They got some buying going on in there. Let's see. Let's put that in there. That's the March. So, let's move this down so it doesn't interfere with everybody looking at the chart. And there's the March beans. We'll save that. That's something, huh? So what are they doing the corn then? Let's go over and take a look at the grains all the way. So there's corn. Let's refresh that. Corn is not launching itself like it had, but I guess you could say it did. Did it go after what? It almost went after the $5 area. Went up to $497.75 today. And it's holding, it's in a weekly buy for what, 20 weeks, 19 weeks? What is that? That's line. Oh, we need to move that up. Where's that mouse in particular? Let's see. There it is right there. 20 weeks in a weekly buy in corn. 19 weeks in soybeans. And let's save that image for the subscribers there. Yes, indeed. Where's corn? Cornucopia of March. There it is. It's the March corn. Now, where is it? It doesn't even say that. We need to fix that. Where are you, March corn? Let me tighten it up. Maybe it'll jump out. There it is. Way parked back there. There we go. I'll widen it out again, like so. And let's save it again, like so. March corn. Now let's take a look at the grains more in the sense of let's look at March wheat. There it is right there. Let's move that over. Now it's been fighting in and out, and it's not. But it's look at that. It's in the $6 area, $6.50 area. So it's holding up pretty firm there. Let's reload that. Oh yeah, we'll jump over that. But I know that they're not quoting it. They don't show trades on that. But we'll go there next after I do the March. Where are you? We'll save the March wheat. Let's see, right? Where is it at? Right there. March Wheaties. And then what we'll do is we'll jump over to red wheat. I want to see what the red wheat looks like right there. Now they did the same thing this morning. See, it's trading live at the moment. We're seeing live action. Unfortunately, they don't trade the meats as freely. So we'll save that red wheat. And then I've got all the grains. We've collected up all the grains itself. There's red wheat saved. Now let's go check out. There's hogs. I just saw. What did I just see? I saw something interesting on hogs. What the hell did I just see? The largest company that produces hogs. It was some story about it. I saw that this morning. They're a $22 billion meat company out of China. And they own like the largest production company in the United States. Now what's that? There's now 31st. Okay, yeah. So look at it. They ran hogs on the close. It's going to be interesting to see where they have the hogs today. And then we'll jump over to the cattle. Let's reload that. Let's see the hoggies. Right there. That's February hogs. Should move that over. Let that be there like that. And just go file save. And then let's take a look at cattle. Cattle's the same way. They're not. You won't see live trade at the moment. And cattle flirted with the daily. Oh, it wasn't a daily sell. Okay, yeah. So it went into the daily sell here on Wednesday. Then no, I guess it's Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it went into the daily sell on Tuesday. Still in a weekly buy, so you can't take the short. And then it bounces back up, but with a red dot, so there's no legs to that. Let me just reload that. And then you can see now the manifold. It's the green line is trying to break the zero line. The histogram is breaking it. See, it's a -12 and a -6, and you got a red dot, and it's going up in value at the same time. And you got the weekly buy, so not much can we say about that. But there's the hoggies. Not hoggies, the cattle. Let's save that. So we won't see any action in that for another hour and a half or something like that. And that could have been just an end of the year thing, you know. And then here's the little babies. Here's the veal. Here's the feeders. My tummy is speaking when I say that. The veal. Veal parmesan. All right. And then you can see here it's showing the weakness also on that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But the weekly held up. It's been in now the feeders have been in a buy since back in, was that November? Beginning of November. Did I reload that? Let me just reload it again. Just to make sure we reloaded it correctly. Good. Okay. And why don't we see what this... Is that it right there I can grab? No. Let's see if we can find where is what it is. Why don't I see... Why doesn't it say feeder? Oh, there's feeders all the way over there. Let's put them like that. And let's do this. There we go. And we'll widen it out. And there's the feeders. Jan feeders, which we're probably getting ready to switch months. Yeah, we should look at that, Robin. Switch the month to whatever it is. There it is. So there's the live cattle, or the meats, I guess you could say. So the feeders and the cattle and the hogs. And we'll see how that plays itself out, you know, especially starting off the new year. Now, I don't think this is updating either. No, it's not. That's still from Thursday of last week. Thursday of last week. All right. Any particular product now that anybody would like to see? There's... Oh, you know what we should have done? I didn't do that. We missed the bean oil with the crude oil. Bummer. That should have been in the oil complex. Bean oil. Especially Jan bean oil. And now let's look at March bean oil too. I'm sure it's very firm. Right there. Yep. That's even more firm. Look at that. Let's reload that. But you know, that oil complex is holding up very well. Look at that. And that's the March bean oil. Let's see, where do I save that? Oh, it goes right there. Sweet oil March. Bingo. And then the only thing left is the food, the meal, the mash. And there is Jan mash, the meal. And look at that, holding up very well. It's interesting to see the complex, how well it's doing. I guess they've got to feed the animals, and so it's got to go up in cost. Oh, there's, you know what, we didn't see oats. Let's see what oats are doing too after we finish off the March oil. But March oil had really popped just as well. Now it's holding a plus compared to crude oil, which is like almost unchanged minus. Let's see. Right there. Sui meal March. Excellent. Now, last of the grain complex really is the oats. Oats and dotes and little daisies. Oh, look at that thing. 370 now, making its march up. Let's move that down. Let's recycle that a little bit. Let's try that again like that. And then we widen it out again. Daisies. Yep. Yeah, they're reaching for commodities, that's for sure. There's no doubt about it. Food is a popular thing. You can ask me about it. I like it all the time. All right, and so that shows us the complex over there. Did we see everything? Let's just make sure. Yeah, I think we did. We saw it all. Cool. So then, I guess, what did we see over here on the commodities? Did we see it all? We did this and that, and we did the we did the robo. We didn't do the 10-year. Let's see what 10-year bonds look like. They're still trying to hold up. Let's refresh it. But we got a red dot on Thursday. Oh, no, they're green dots now. Okay, cool. So that's holding up very well there. And we'll throw a ZN in there. There we are. And that is, oh, you know what we need to do is find where the little, who you are. There, 10-year March. And then we can widen it again. Like so. And then let's save it again. And we're in a second week of the buy too. That's the interest rates. And what are they doing? They are going up in price. And when they go up in price, that means rates are going down in so in other words, interest rates are dropping. And that seems to be the global characteristic of what we've been seeing for a while now. And then, let's see, which one is right there? Right there. And that's the Bitcoin. I just want to save that. And it's obviously looking, it's trying to go into a sell. Let's put a little red line in that too. And we'll go like that. Right there, there's a red line. So we were in a daily and weekly buy for that big pop. Sometimes we catch it, sometimes we don't. But at least like 9 out of 10 of 8.5 out of 10, we don't trap you in it. Let's put it that way. You may not have a position on when it's going up or down, but at least you're not trapped on the other side of it. So that's the key right there, is not to have you getting beat up. We really fight at not having our analysis beat people up. And that's the best thing. It's better to miss a trade than lose money on a trade. That's the way I always look at it. Always better, I'll repeat that. It's always better to miss a trade than lose money on a trade. And that's the way I always feel about it. All right. Let's see. What else can we look at? There's the currencies again, and there's not much to be said. We've gone through every one of them pretty well here. But if you see anything, there's yen. Let's see what yen did. Yen is moving down. Okay. And you can see the been a daily sell since right there. I guess we should put a little line in there. Let's do that. Wrong place. But the yen is moving down, and it's in a weekly sell. You can see that for a couple weeks now, 3 full weeks. I think we've missed a couple of the signals. No one's asked about it, I guess. No one's really into the yen anymore. So it went into the sell here, and went into the buy there, because it had the red and green there, so you can't put it into a buy there, and it had a red and green there, and you couldn't put it into a buy. You can see the strength coming out of it, but it wasn't letting you get long it. And at the time, it was, I guess it was in a sell anyway, so it didn't really matter. And then it went into the buy there, and now we're back into the sell there. So interesting. Now there was a buy right. Okay, that's the buy right there, and then there's the sell right there. Again, a lot of traders stopped paying attention to the yen. They don't seem to ask about the yen, and we don't fill it in much. I mean, we keep it on the spreadsheet every day. You can see there it's 3 weeks in a sell, 2 days in a sell. So it's just not many people seem to be caring about the yen as much as they used to. All right. Anything else, Robin, we should go look at? I think we've gotten a lot of this stuff categorized already, which is really nice and saved. Do you see anything in particular worth investigating? Investigating. Yes, no, maybe? I'm always looking for something to look at. But it's kind of neat there. Like I said, no one's really even asking about the yen anymore. No? Okay. Let's, where do we go from here then? Is there anything jumping out at us? I don't see anything particular that makes any real concern there. So I guess what we will do is, I guess we can remove that too. Activate. That is the deck, and the deck is obviously gone. Like so. Clean that up a little bit. That's cool. And there's that Turkish Lira again. All right. I guess we're coming down to the end of the road. That's what it comes down to. So I hope everybody had a good year. What could we? Oh, what should we call this particular? I guess the title. We need a title for this. Oh yeah, I have no doubt it's going to be wild. It's got to be wild. We don't have much of a choice. You know, we'll see what occurs on the 6th, and we will see from there what's after that. I mean, there's all kinds of just disorganized criminality going on in this country. So it's nothing is over with until it's resolved. That's what it really comes down to. All right. What kind of title should we call this? I'm trying to figure out a title. Anybody have an idea what we can title it? Let's see. Title. Me start typing it in. Welcome back. Yeah, really. It is a good one. I like that. Welcome back. Let's see. Title. So title, today, we'll call it, what did we look at? We looked at the euro. So why don't we do the euro? We did the euro twice. Euro. And gold. How's that? Because gold was fascinating. But we looked at the grains, too. Looked at a lot of stuff. It was a very rounded webinar in the sense of we looked at a lot of products. Anyway, and away we go. Me and Jackie Gleason. I like that. All right. So this is Doc from North America. Catch you tomorrow. So happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all.